And around this time, I started to really look for an avenue where I could have some kind of a lead generating machine that was just working for me behind the scenes, because I became very painfully aware that if I wasn't on the phone calling for sale by owners, cancel expireds, following up from open houses, that my prospecting for 365. And I started looking around a little bit and decided I was going to start trying to build a channel. And initially, it was just kind of really a modest beginning. I mean, I tell people, like, my first video, I was like just doing some kind of a market update out in the middle of the woods with like mosquitoes flying around me, and I had like just recording on like an iPhone, and with the iPhone like just hanging onto this tree for dear life, and that was my first video. But stayed with it, stayed consistent, and the YouTube definitely did take off. But it did take a ton of work, but eventually got to that point where I was able to start building that YouTube channel to the point where like I was tracking the numbers and everything for the sales. And the first year I did it, I think YouTube accounted for like maybe 15-20%. I was like, oh, okay, they're still the number ones. And kept tracking it, kept putting more and more effort into it, and trying to figure out how to become 1% better every day. And the last year, I think it was right around 78% of the business was from YouTube and podcasts. So first off, no longer shooting market updates off of like printed paper with mosquitoes flying around my head anymore. So that was definitely about a 10% improvement right there. And after that, it was really a matter of trying to dive more and more into the technical aspect of what it is that I was doing, and just going, the audio quality, it's good, and I think I can make it better. Or, the lighting in here, I can work with it in such a way that you don't necessarily have to have like a big expensive camera right up front. And, or stuff like, the room in here, it's echoey, and, that's really distracting for people when they're trying to watch it. Or, the thumbnails, they're looking just very generic. I started working with an editor that I was able to find on Fiverr. That was really good. And that was really kind of a big force multiplier, actually, right there, was being able to partner up with an editor or something like that. But just being able to delegate that out and have somebody else take care of a lot of that legwork behind the scenes freed me up to be able to focus on my 20% when it came to YouTube content, which in this case would be the research, bringing other people onto the channel and podcast to kind of talk about their stories, and to really kind of focus on the creative act of it instead of taking care of color grading. Yep, that's a great question, and that is absolutely the case. Initially, it was actually it was kind of trippy the first couple times that I ran into it, because I realized, hey, these people already are at a much further point in their relationship with me than I am with them right now, because they've had the ability to kind of watch me on video and hear me on podcasts and everything, and they feel like they know, like, and trust me, which is great. And to me, they're kind of strangers right at the moment. So you have to catch up quickly to where they are and their relationship with you. And that has really been instrumental with kind of building the business, because if you have people who are moving in from out of state, there's a good chance they might not be able to physically look at the property until it's at least under contract. And sometimes they don't even get a look at it at all until after it closes. So that level of trust that I'm able to build with them, and really focusing on having that brand of honesty and authenticity, really has helped to make the process a lot smoother. When we're dealing with the high stakes, high stress topic of real estate.